Tesla designed the Model 2 to survive 3 feet of floodwater, laugh at 15 years of road salt, and stay solid past 200,000 miles. Battery packs that won't corrode, suspension that absorbs every pothole, screens you can actually read without squinting. But here's the catch. This tank of a car isn't chasing 0 to 60 times or impressing anyone at a stoplight. Tesla killed the performance thrills to build something that just works every single day for decades. So what did you actually lose when durability became more important than speed? Here's the brutal truth nobody talks about. Over 40% of Americans live within 50 miles of coastline or in regions where roads get salted 3 to 5 months every year. That means your $50,000 EV is breathing salt spray, soaking in brine runoff, and sitting in standing water every single winter. Battery packs that cost $9,000 to $12,000 to replace, they're failing not because of degradation, but because water found a way in. Suspension components seize up, wiring corrodes, insurance companies write off the entire car over damage that started with one heavy rainstorm. Tesla looked at this carnage and made a decision that's either genius or commercial suicide. The Model 2's battery pack and drive units can now survive 3 feet of standing water for 30 minutes. Not a marketing claim, actual engineering tolerance. To understand how absurd this is, the average curb height in U.S. cities is 6 to 8 inches. Flood warnings become dangerous for sedans at 12 inches. Tesla built protection for nearly triple that depth. So why would they over-engineer a budget car to handle floods most drivers will never see? Because the real enemy isn't dramatic floods. It's the slow death from accumulated exposure. Every puddle crossed, every storm driven through, every winter parked outside adds microscopic damage that compounds over years. Tesla's targeting 1,500 plus hours of salt spray resistance on critical components. Compare that to economy cars rated for 500 hours before visible corrosion appears. That gap translates to 5 to 8 additional years of usable life in salt-heavy states like Minnesota, New York, or Michigan. The financial math gets interesting here. Tesla's shedding 150 to 250 pounds versus steel-heavy competitors by using aluminum-intensive construction with advanced anti-corrosion coatings. Less weight means less stress on suspension components. Fewer seized bolts past 150,000 miles. Fewer cracked brake lines. What's fascinating about this approach is how it flips conventional automotive economics. Most manufacturers design for the first owner experience, that crucial 3 to 5 year window before trade-in. Tesla's designing for the third owner who buys the car with 120,000 miles already on it. That's a fundamentally different engineering philosophy, and it explains why some of their choices seem backwards compared to competitors. The money spent rust-proofing underbody fasteners could have gone into premium interior materials or faster acceleration. Every dollar invested in durability is a dollar not spent making this car feel impressive during a test drive. Was that the right call for a market obsessed with first impressions? The answer depends entirely on where the used EV market goes over the next decade. Right now, EVs lose value catastrophically because buyers fear expensive battery replacements and unknown reliability. If Tesla can prove the Model 2 genuinely lasts 200,000 miles without major issues, they're not just selling new cars. They're creating a robust used market that feeds back into new car sales. That's the long game here, but it requires patience most automakers don't have. This durability strategy connects directly to what Tesla did with the suspension, and this is where things get controversial. They softened it, deliberately. The Model 2 uses softer spring rates and revised damper valving optimized for speeds under 45 miles per hour. Not track days, not canyon runs, daily commutes to the grocery store. Studies show drivers over 55 are significantly more sensitive to vertical acceleration, the up and down jolts from potholes and rough pavement. Even small impacts measured in fractions of a G translate into discomfort over longer drives. U.S. traffic data reveals that 80% of trips for drivers over 60 happen at city or suburban speeds, with average trip lengths under 12 miles. Tesla looked at those numbers and made a choice that'll infuriate automotive journalists. They prioritize comfort over handling sharpness. The engineering makes sense once you see the bigger picture. The Model 2's floor-mounted battery pack sits 18 to 20 inches above ground, creating a low center of gravity that naturally resists body roll. That means Tesla can soften the suspension by 15 to 20% without the car wallowing through corners like a 1970s land yacht. Compact crossovers can't do this. They rely on stiff suspension just to control body roll caused by their higher centers of gravity. But here's where Tesla's calculation gets really interesting. They're not just softening springs, they're retuning the entire driving experience through software. The Model 2 adds stability profiles that actively reduce throttle response at low speeds. Instead of instant electric torque launching you forward at every stoplight, the accelerator mapping becomes progressive. Torque output gets capped more aggressively under 10 miles per hour. This car will feel slower than it actually is, and that's intentional. Who asked for a deliberately sluggish Tesla? The answer is hiding in the insurance data and accident reports. Unintended acceleration incidents with EVs have been climbing as instant torque catches drivers off guard in parking lots. Tesla's betting that smoother, more predictable behavior reduces accidents, lowers insurance rates, and keeps owners happy over the long term. The trade-off? Automotive reviewers will roast this car for feeling unresponsive and boring compared to the Model 3. Performance enthusiasts will skip it entirely. But for someone buying their last car before retirement, that sluggish throttle response might be the most valuable safety feature nobody's advertising. What makes this strategy bold is how it contradicts everything Tesla built their brand on. They made their reputation on ludicrous acceleration and handling that embarrassed sports cars. Now they're building a car that intentionally feels slower and softer. That's not a minor pivot. It's a fundamental repositioning that could alienate their core audience while appealing to buyers who've never considered a Tesla before. Even regenerative braking got softened. Below 20 miles per hour, regen engagement becomes gentler, allowing the car to slow more gradually unless you deliberately press the brake pedal. One-pedal driving purists will hate this, but for drivers transitioning from gas cars, it eliminates the abrupt lurching sensation that makes EVs feel unnatural. This entire durability and comfort focus leads naturally to how Tesla approached the interior. And this is where the strategy becomes most controversial. The Model 2 Senior Edition introduces a high-contrast display mode with larger text, clearer icon spacing, and color combinations optimized for aging eyes. Font sizes increase by 20 to 30%, which research shows can reduce glance time by half a second. At 60 miles per hour, that's 44 feet of travel, potentially life-saving distance in an emergency. Sounds reasonable, right? But this mode also caps screen brightness more aggressively after sunset and simplifies the menu structure to reduce cognitive load. Essential controls like climate, defrost, lights, and wipers get surfaced with fewer taps. 3-tap interactions become 1-tap. Driver assistance warnings trigger earlier and more gradually. Here's the uncomfortable question. Is Tesla building accessibility features or admitting their interface was always too complicated for regular people? Because if a senior mode is necessary to make the car usable, what does that say about the default experience everyone else gets? The camera feeds for reversing reveal even more dramatic changes. Instead of cluttered overlays with stylized graphics, the system prioritizes obstacle distance measured in feet. At parking speeds under 5 miles per hour, you see exactly how far away that curb is, 2 feet versus 5 feet, rather than guessing from abstract visual indicators. This is where Tesla's strategy crystallizes into something bigger than just one car model. They're not innovating. They're removing the innovation that made their cars difficult to use. The minimalist interior that automotive press loved, turns out normal people found it confusing and stressful. The instant torque that reviewers praised, most drivers just wanted smooth, predictable acceleration. The tech-forward interface, people wanted buttons and simplicity. The Model 2 represents Tesla's first public admission that maybe they overcomplicated things, chasing innovation for innovation's sake. What's remarkable is how this connects back to the durability strategy. A car designed to last 15 to 20 years can't rely on cutting-edge interfaces that feel dated after 5 years. It needs timeless simplicity that works just as well in 2040 as it does in 2026. Tesla's betting that straightforward, accessible design ages better than flashy complexity. That's a mature perspective from a company that built its reputation on being aggressively futuristic. The financial calculation behind all these choices becomes clear when you zoom out. Tesla made a car that survives floods, resists corrosion, rides smoothly, and stays simple to operate. Every one of those features required compromise. Water sealing adds weight and cost. Corrosion coatings increase production expenses. Softer suspension reduces handling precision and enthusiast appeal. Simplified interfaces limit customization and feel less premium during test drives. These aren't accidents or oversights. They're deliberate trade-offs based on a specific bet about the future. That bet assumes the average American will keep cars longer as prices rise. It assumes reliability matters more than 0 to 60 times. It assumes a generation of drivers tired of overcomplicated, unreliable cars will pay $25,000 for something that just works without drama. It's either a masterclass in understanding what people actually need or a spectacular misread of what they actually want. The market will answer that question brutally over the next few years. Consider what happens if Tesla's right. Used Model 2s become known for lasting forever with minimal issues. Resale values stay strong because buyers trust the durability. Insurance rates drop because the cars avoid accidents better. Word spreads that this boring, slow, simple car is actually the smartest purchase in the segment. That creates a virtuous cycle where strong used values justify higher new car prices, which funds better engineering, which creates even stronger used values. Toyota built an empire on exactly this formula. But consider what happens if Tesla's wrong. Performance enthusiasts buy something else. Tech-forward buyers find it outdated. The only customers are bargain hunters who don't care about brand prestige. Without volume sales, production costs stay high, margins collapse, and the whole strategy fails because you can't achieve durability at scale without scale itself. The Model 2 becomes a niche product that proves Tesla misunderstood their own market. In a culture obsessed with new cars every 3 to 5 years, is durability even a selling point anymore? Or just a feature nobody asked for? What makes this fascinating from an industry perspective is how it reveals the tension between what consumers say they want and what they actually buy. Every survey shows people claim to value reliability and longevity, but sales data shows they actually buy based on appearance, features, and monthly payment. Tesla's betting real money that rising costs will finally force behavior to match stated preferences. That's a trillion-dollar question for the entire automotive industry, and the Model 2 is Tesla's answer. Drop a comment with your take. Would you sacrifice performance and fancy tech for a car that's still running strong at 200,000 miles? Or is durability just a boring selling point for something you'll trade in before it matters anyway? So here's the answer to what Tesla actually sacrificed. They gave up everything the automotive press celebrates to build something that just works. The trade-off wasn't performance for durability. It was short-term excitement for long-term trust. That's exactly why this car matters more than any Cybertruck reveal or Plaid record run. Tesla's proving they can build boring reliability at scale, and that changes everything. Because here's what connects to the bigger picture. Every dollar Tesla makes selling durable, profitable cars like the Model 2 funds the next generation of innovation. A Model 2 that lasts 200,000 miles and builds massive customer loyalty. That's not just good business. It's the foundation for everything Tesla does next, from energy storage to manufacturing breakthroughs that benefit the entire industry. And this is just the beginning. If the Model 2 succeeds, we're looking at a complete reset of consumer expectations around EV longevity. The used market stabilizes, insurance costs drop, competitors scramble to match Tesla's durability standards. Within 5 years, will this EV last 15 years? Becomes the baseline question every buyer asks. That reshapes the entire industry faster than any government mandate ever could. What do you think happens when EVs become known for outlasting gas cars instead of dying early? Does durability matter more than 0 to 60 times for your next purchase? Drop your perspective in the comments below. If this breakdown gave you a different way to think about the Model 2, hit that like button. This is Tesla Zone, and we dig into the engineering decisions that actually matter, not just the headlines. Subscribe and turn on notifications so you don't miss our next deep dive. The EV revolution isn't about acceleration anymore. It's about trust. And Tesla just bet everything on proving they've earned it.